Hello students, our next chapter is study of gas laws. And to understand this chapter, we have to understand the behavior and properties of gases, right? So what is gas? Let us understand. The state of matter in which intermolecular attraction is weak and intermolecular space is large, that the molecules become completely free to move in the entire space is known as gas, right? So the study of gases is very important because the physical properties of all the gases nearly the same. All gases show uniform behavior under similar conditions of temperature and pressure. So if we change any parameters like temperature and pressure, okay, so the gases will behave in the same manner, and that is why we have fixed laws for the gases, and those laws we are going to study in this chapter, that is study of gas law, like Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law we'll study in standard 10, right? So let us first understand the behavior and the properties of gases. So the first property which we have to understand is high compressibility. High compressibility. Now, when you are talking about high compressibility, what happens? Particles of a gas have large intermolecular space. Now, if we take an example over here, we take two containers, okay, and in this we have gaseous molecules, right? And they are far apart, and we apply some pressure on it, okay? So now when you will apply pressure on it here, we will see this. When you have applied pressure, they will get easily compressed. So we say that they are highly compressible. So particles of a gas have large intermolecular space between them, and on applying the pressure here, okay, on the gas, molecules come closer, thus the volume of the gas decreases, and this accounts for high compressibility, right? So this diagram shows that this gaseous molecules, and we can compress it very easily by applying this pressure. This is a piston, okay? Now our next property is gases exert pressure. Exert pressure, right? Now let us understand what is this gases exert pressure. Now to understand this, all of you, let us draw one diagram over here. These are the container over here. We will see these gases will randomly move, okay? So molecules of gas are in state of random motion, okay, colliding with each other, okay, and with the walls of the container, okay, they'll collide with the walls of the container. Due to these collision, gaseous molecules exert pressure. On an average, let us understand this point. On an average, same number of molecules strike a given surface in unit time. Hence, the pressure is exerted uniformly. So, pressure is exerted uniformly in all direction, okay, uniformly in all direction, right? Now next property is no definite shape and size. Gases do not have definite shape and size, so we'll say no definite shape or size, and size, right? So we will say here gases do not possess a particular shape or volume. They fill all the space of a vessel. Over here we will see all the space of a vessel, they are taken in, and they take the shape of the container. Whatever the shape of the container is there, that they will occupy the shape of the container, right? Now the next property is diffusibility and miscibility. Diffusibility and miscibility. Now in this case we will understand that because of the property of constant movement, here constant movement, particles of one gas easily pass through and mix with the particles of another gas. A mixture of gases always remain homogeneous. So here we have lot of space. Another gaseous molecules can easily mix, like in the example of in one corner, if somebody sprays perfume, okay, you will easily see the perfume molecules will easily mix with the air, okay, the molecules of the gases present in the air and easily diffuse. So from one corner if it is sprayed, easily we get this smell of the perfume at the other corner. So that is diffusibility and miscibility. And the last property is low density. Now in this case, when we are talking about low density, here let us understand, see, in this gases here, this is the arrangement of the molecules in solid, okay. So in arrangement of molecules in solid, you will see they are tightly packed, right? And the arrangement in the liquid is their molecules are little bit far apart, okay, right? And in gases you will see the molecules are very far apart, okay, right? Now here, to understand this low density, we have drawn this diagram. So due to this large intermolecular spaces, the number of molecules per unit volume of a gas is lower than solid and liquids. Hence the gases have low density, right? So these are the properties which you have to understand, and to remember the properties you can also remember the word handle, HENDL. So these are the most important 5 properties, right? Now let us understand the variables for gases, the standard variables for the gases. Now here the physical behavior of gases can be described by 3 variables: volume, pressure and temperature. A change in any one of the variable, any one variable, if it is changed, say we change temperature, then volume will change. So any one of the variable of the gas will change, it will result into the change in the other 2 variable, okay. If we change any one, suppose we change temperature, then there will be a change in volume and pressure, right? So let us understand first these variables individually and their units. So to understand volume, first volume is denoted by capital V. Gases fill the container in which they are placed. So the volume of gas is equal to that of its container. I can simply say the space occupied by the gas, okay. What is volume? Space occupied by the gas is volume of the gas, right? Now the SI unit of volume is, SI unit of volume is meter cube. This is the standard unit, okay. And the other units are, okay, other units are, let us say here, cubic centimeter, that is cm cube. Then we have milliliter, that is ml, okay. Then we have cubic decimeter, that is dm cube we write, okay. And we have a liter. So these are the most common units which we will be using when we will be solving numericals, right? Now there are conversions mostly. See, always remember liter and dm cube are same. Liter and dm cube are same, decimeter cube. And ml, milliliter and centimeter cube are same, right? Now if we have to convert from liter to this milliliter, okay, or decimeter to centimeter cube, multiply by 1000, okay. And if we want to convert back to milliliter to liter or centimeter cube to decimeter cube, you have to divide by 1000. Okay, so then you will easily understand the conversion, how to do it. So for example, here 1 meter cube is equals to 1000 dm cube, or is equals to 1000 liter. So dm cube and liter are same. 1 liter is equals to 1000 ml, is equals to 1000 centimeter cube, right? So ml and centimeter cube are same. Now let us understand pressure. What is pressure? So pressure is the force that the gas exert per unit area on the walls of the container. Here we saw, okay, here we understood that on an average same number of molecules strike a given surface in unit time, and it exerts uniformly. So here you all know that the earth is surrounded by a thick blanket of air, and that is known as atmosphere. The pressure exerted by air, okay, on the surface of the earth is atmospheric pressure. See, you must be knowing what is atmospheric pressure. So the pressure exerted by air on the surface of the earth is atmospheric pressure. Now what is standard pressure? So all of you, this standard pressure is 1 atmosphere, okay, and that 1 atmosphere is defined as the pressure exerted by 76 centimeter, okay, of Hg, mercury, okay, at 0 degree Celsius, okay, at we'll say standard gravity. What is standard gravity? Standard gravity 9.8 meter per second square, right? So what is standard pressure? Standard pressure is 1 atmosphere, okay, and it is defined as the pressure exerted by 76 centimeter of Hg at 0 degree Celsius at this gravity 9.8 meter per second square, right? So the standard unit of pressure is Pascal, all of you. The standard unit of pressure is Pascal, and we write as PA, Pascal. Now what is Pascal? So Pascal is defined as the pressure exerted when a force of 1 Newton acts on an area of 1 meter square. So what is in terms of, we'll say, atmosphere. So 1 atmosphere is how many Pascal? 1.01325 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. And for our easy calculation, we can simply take 1.01 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Okay. The most common units of pressure are, all of you, Pascal, okay, then atmosphere. Atmosphere, we write it as ATM, and we have here, we have centimeter, in centimeter. So we write centimeter Hg, okay, and millimeter, mm, we write mm Hg, and one more we have, that is torr, okay. The next fifth one is torr, okay, and that torr is named after Torricelli, okay. So let us see the conversion. Here the conversion are 1 atmosphere is equals to 760 torr, or you can say 1 atmosphere is equals to 76 centimeter of Hg. You can also take 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm of Hg, of mercury, okay. So while solving numericals, we will require all these things, right? Now let us understand what is temperature. So temperature is a measure of degree of hotness of that gas, right? So the temperature scale mostly used in laboratory is Celsius scale, okay. Here the most commonly used, okay, most commonly used scale is Celsius scale, we'll say. In the laboratory we will see that it is most commonly used, and that is Celsius scale. Initially it was known as centigrade scale, okay. So let us understand, see the freezing point of water is 0 degree Celsius and melting point of water is 100 degree Celsius. Okay. So what happened over here is 100 degree Celsius on this scale. On which scale? In this Celsius scale. So the value of 0 degree Celsius has been accepted as the standard temperature, all of you, as the standard temperature. So if I ask you what is the standard temperature, you will say 0 degree Celsius. So as a standard temperature, 0 degree Celsius was accepted. Okay. Now let us understand this. The temperature of the temperature of the substance may go below 0 degree also. So the temperature of the substance may go below 0, that is, a substance can have negative temperature. But the behavior of gases shows that it is not possible to have temperature below 0. Okay, or you can say the temperature below minus 273 degrees Celsius. So this led to the formulation of another scale known as Kelvin scale, right? So the zero on the Kelvin scale, the 0 on the Kelvin scale is equals to minus 273 degree Celsius. Okay. So here, to have all temperature on the positive scale, this Kelvin scale was discovered, or you can say taken into consideration, right? So what is the relationship between Kelvin? For Kelvin we write simply capital K, Kelvin, and degree Celsius we write degree C for degree Celsius, degree C. Okay. What is that? So here the relation is Kelvin K is equals to degree Celsius plus 273. See, when you add 273 to this temperature in degree Celsius, so you can convert it into Kelvin. And if we have to convert it back, you have to subtract minus 273. Right. So while solving numerical, we have to convert all the temperature which are in degree Celsius to Kelvin by adding 273 into that. Okay. So why all this is done? So that all temperature on the Kelvin scale are positive. Okay, we cannot solve it in 0 degree C. We cannot take temperature as standard 0 degree Celsius if we want to take standard temperature. So we want to take it in positive, that is why we convert it into Kelvin by adding 273. So after this, after understanding volume, pressure and temperature, we will able to understand the gas laws better. Okay, so gas laws, what are gas laws? If you will say the behavior of a gas under known condition of pressure, volume and temperature is described by these laws, and those laws are known as gas laws. So in the next video, we will understand what is Boyle's law, Charles' law. There is third law also, Avogadro's law, that explains how this pressure, temperature, so all these three will explain how pressure, temperature, volume and the number of particles in a container of gas are related to each other. But Avogadro's law we will be studying in standard 10. Thank you, students.